Hello again. This is part 2 of my tech toy show and tell. As I've told you in my first video, I got a huge amount of money from a profit sharing bonus from my full-time job, and I decided to spend some of that money into getting a couple of tech toys for myself. Whereas the first one was all about necessity and classwork, the second one is all about fun and leisure. This second tech toy, I came to the conclusion to buy this after hours and hours of debating what my choice should be. I even considered getting the iPod Touch 32 gigabyte, but for 500 bucks, I said, no. The iPod Classic 80 gig is more than what I need for right now, and it works perfectly. And so the iPod Touch was out. I eventually made the decision to get a brand new digital camera. Now, I'm going to take a few moments just to give you guys a chance to guess what it is. The camera that I decided to get, it's a Canon. The Canon PowerShot SD750 model. Now, as you can see, there's no need to do any sort of unboxing video because I already unboxed it. Sorry. And I have to admit, it is a pretty damn good camera. Just to show it to you guys, there you go. I did a lot of research on CNET.com mainly, as well as Amazon.com, and I found out that this baby here is ranked in the top 5 of all of the digital cameras that are currently available, according to CNET. Now that's very impressive for a small compact model such as this to be in the top 5. That really said a lot to me as far as its reliability and its quality. And I also asked a couple of my friends, one friend in particular, who's a professional photographer, had pretty much said that Canon is the best way to go. So with that in mind, I went to Best Buy and Circuit City and spent a couple of hours, comparing all of the cameras, taking the size into consideration and taking the different features into consideration as well as the price. I pretty much made up in my own mind that the Canon PowerShot SD750 was going to be the absolute one for me. It turns out the SD750 runs at around 200 bucks, but if I could do some comparison shopping in person and realize that there's another camera that's considerably less and offers the same kind of features, I would have gone for that. But after comparing all of the cameras at both Best Buy and Circuit City, it was obvious that the clear winner in this thing was the PowerShot SD750. It's pretty impressive so far. 7.1 megapixels. And the one thing that also catches my attention is that the viewfinder on this is huge. The face detection, as you can see, it works. It's getting my big fat waterhead right now. But the face detection works great. Now, there's another camera that was pretty much similar to the SD750, and that was the SD1000. Now, the main difference between the 750 and the 1000 that I learned is pretty much that while the back of this 750 does not have an optical viewfinder at the top, the back of the SD1000 does. Now, the only pro as to having an optical viewfinder, from what I read, was if you're in a dark room and you don't want to disturb anybody with the glare from the big screen, you can always cut the screen off and rely on the optical viewfinder with your naked eye. But in this case, I pretty much don't mind not having an optical viewfinder, and even if I did have it on this camera, the likelihood of me using it would have been slim to none. So not having an optical viewfinder was not a deal breaker for me at all. Another thing that was mentioned on CNET was that this camera also has above average movie quality. So when it shoots movies with sound, the quality, the image quality of the movie is spectacular, even better than that of my Nokia E90. It rivals that. It surpasses it. It's an amazing. It's amazing. I just take my word for it. I started to ask myself, did I really make the right move in getting this particular model, even though it's rated so highly on both Amazon and CNET? Did I really spend my money wisely? Well, I took the entire Friday today to answer that question. There was one particular model that kind of swayed me a little bit, but not much, and that was the Nikon Coolpix S210, I believe it is. And it only swayed me for a while because of its size. It's very compact and very thin, but what steered me away from that Nikon Coolpix S210 model was the fact that even though it's a lot more thinner and a lot more compact than this SD750, the image quality was not as advanced as the Canon, and the movie quality wasn't as great either. So I decided to stay with the Canon PowerShot 750 and make the most of it. The Canon SD750 is one of the highest rated digital camera models out there right now. And for 200 bucks, I have to say, it was pretty much a good deal. You know, from what I want in a digital camera, and according to the high ratings from CNET and Amazon.com, this is pretty much a no-brainer when it comes to getting the best camera. The Canon PowerShot SD750 so far for me is the camera to beat, hands down. This is as good as you can get when you're looking for a compact digital camera. So if you happen to have a need to look for a new camera, keep Canon in mind. With that, guys, I have to say good night. Hope all of you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.